Okay, here's another update for the pistol permit. If you noticed my last video on the pistol permit, that was probably early July, so about a month ago almost. That's when I went to the interrogation, whatever you want to call it. And the officer said, in passing, he said that 3 of the references had been contacted and he'd done the little interview with them or whatever, but there was I don't know if I mentioned this, there was a 4th reference that he couldn't get in touch with, and I'd given him the reference's work number, which is the same work I am at, and also his cell phone number, and he said the cell phone number was disconnected, and because I think the guy had gotten a new cell phone eventually. Between the pistol permit process and the interview, which, you know, is months and months. So yeah, that makes sense. But the officer called back a couple days ago and said he still can't get in touch with the 4th reference, and therefore, you know, nothing's been done for another month with my pistol permit because he can't get that 4th reference. And even though there's 3 people who say I'm fine, I'm not a dangerous person, still can't do anything until he gets that 4th reference. And if that's not bad enough, he called my girlfriend, because I'd given him my girlfriend's number because he was asking for extra people for some reason because he couldn't get the 4th guy. So he called my girlfriend and he asked if I'm a violent person, and then he's basically grilling my girlfriend about my history and all this stuff and how we met. How we met 10 years ago. And my girlfriend had said, which is true, that I was going to buy some video games off of her 10 years ago, like some Sega Genesis games. And that was through like a local music site. I was going to buy them off her. And then that's how we met. And, you know, in retrospect, I would have told my girlfriend don't volunteer any information like that or something, like give as little information as possible, but she was just being truthful when the guy asked her a retarded, irrelevant question. And so she said that, and then the guy was like, wait a minute, when I asked him what his hobbies were, he said, and I asked him if he played video games, he said he didn't. And it's like, first of all, 10 years have gone by, and second of all, there were Sega Genesis games. I don't play modern video games. And third of all, I didn't want to tell the officer everything about my life. So when he said, what are your hobbies, I kind of just blanked out because I don't fucking want the guy to know every aspect of my life. So, and then, you know, fourth of all, how the fuck is this relevant to anything at all? So, you know, he asked her a couple other questions. He asked about my YouTube videos. It's like, what? Why does this fucking matter at all? But anyways, that was over with. And even though this guy has 4 people now, 4 people who have confirmed that I'm not a psycho, he still can't get that other person, the 4th person who's on the actual pistol permit as a reference. He can't find him, so it's just gonna sit on his desk until that is settled. And he's like, you gotta get in touch with your reference, make sure he's get in touch with him and have him call me and stuff like this, so I can send the application or whatever to the judge, and then he'll decide and blah blah blah. So I'm like, alright. So I go on Facebook, which is the only way I can contact this guy. Apparently, you know, I was laid off for the summer temporarily. because I work at a school, but I was pretty sure that my work was still open, so I called over there, and there was no one there. So I messaged the guy personally on Facebook, and I know he has a phone with Facebook capabilities. And I messaged him and I asked him to contact the guy. No response. This is 2 days ago. And I'm like, well, can you tell me if you get this message? And I know he had already gotten the message, because if you've ever used Facebook, like, and you look at someone's like a personal message you sent someone, it'll say if they saw the message. He saw the message, and he saw my other message saying, please tell me if you got that. And he didn't respond. And this was the person who I was worried about, this other person I had put as a reference, not this guy. So I'm just baffled that this fourth person, who I actually thought was like the most responsible, is being kind of a douchebag to me and not responding. I mean, I know one of my other references told the police officer about my YouTube channel, which is why he asked me about my YouTube channel to begin with, but I mean, at least they answered the guy's questions so I can move along with the pistol permit. But here's a lesson for you. Just choose your references really carefully if you happen to live in this shitty, unfree state called New York State. Because, like, I thought I knew this fourth person, but apparently he doesn't give a fuck. And I think one of the reasons he doesn't give a fuck is because I just quit my job, because I am going to eventually be moving. Not for a couple months, but I'm quitting my job because I'm not even going to go back until September, and I'll probably I would have been working 1 week, and then I would have to quit anyway. So basically I quit my job already, gave them a shitload of notice. This guy is the assistant manager from work. I really get along with this guy, and so I had called him and my other boss on Monday. I couldn't get through, so I had emailed them my 2 weeks notice, because I called like a few separate times that day and I just couldn't get anyone. It was a Monday, and I don't know, I have a feeling that because I'm quitting my job, maybe he's not being a good reference because of that, but I don't know. And you know, I'm just doing this, I'm just going through with the whole pistol thing because, number one, I paid money for it. So I want it to be completed before the time I move. I don't even care if I ever use it. I want it to be fucking done. Have the little piece of plastic or whatever the fuck in my hand after all the months of waiting, all the bullshit. And number two reason why I want it is just because it's such an arduous process, and I want it to be over with. And I also wanted to show people who live in New York, let the transparency open up a little bit between the government and the citizens. There's really nothing written about the pistol permit process at all. The only time I ever sort of learned about it was watching Speed Dog's videos about his pistol permit, and it's completely fucking different in every county. So that's why I've been making these pistol permit updates, whatever you want to call them, because who else is going to? I mean, there's got to be stuff on record of how they treat regular citizens when they try to get a firearm, or in my case a pistol, in New York, which is retarded. So I just wanted to update people on this. If you live in upstate New York, I'm sorry. If you live in any part of New York, I'm really sorry. I can't wait to get the fuck out of here. I can't stand the fucking attitude of every douchebag, cop, and anyone who has any kind of authority in this state, in any political office. They completely abuse it from the minute they get into office. And this pistol permit process is proof of it. I mean, it's controlled by one person. One judge controls all the pistol permits in my county. How the fuck is that democratic at all? I mean, never mind the fact that the pistol permit itself is kind of unconstitutional. But I'm digressing here. Just giving you an update, and still, month goes by, nothing happens because of one person and one cop who just has to have that fourth reference. Alright, bye.